welcome to the BiggOh Wrap-Up, hosted by your boy, BiggOh, Colibri, and Midmo's Mark and the rest of the Bay family. Grab your beverages and your snacks. And like BiggOh says, if you got it, spark it.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this episode 25 of the Big O Wrap Up. It is your boy, Big O. You already know what it is. And I want to thank you guys for joining me today on this pre recorded video because by the time you see this video, I will be at work. Uh, I just had a lot of things I had to do today and get taken care of. And I wanted to get it done. So I also wanted to make sure I get a video out to you guys. It is Thursday. We know we got Friday Night SmackDown tomorrow. Make sure you go subscribe to my boy Hoodie Rob Bay right here on YouTube. And we also got the NFL draft today. And I think he's doing a watch along on that as well. But we'll talk about that a little later. Right now, we're going to get into some of the news and rumors that I got for you today. Before we do all that, just want to give a shout out to all my boys out there. Of course, I already mentioned Hoodie Rob Bay. I want to mention my boy Hulu Grim, Dr. and Mrs. Evil Genius, the GOC of the IWC, Mr. Dakota Kayfabe himself, the Midmost Smart, and of course, the usual two, and JD from NY206 and Jesse Shy Town Smart. Guys, I got a few things I want to talk about today. I want to talk about a little bit about Leo Rush. I got a little news on Tessa Blanchard. I want to talk about what happened on Monday Night Raw with Imperium. Are they done? It looks like Giovanna Vinci has been kicked out of the group, but who's going to be the replacement for him? I got news on that as well. DIY. Are there another tag team that's also breaking up after what we saw on Monday Night Raw when DIY was unable to capture the newly WWE World Tag Team Champions in Awesome Truth? I got news on Finn Balor. He has resigned with the company. We'll talk about that and how I feel about it. I also mentioned about Tessa Blanchard coming back to TNA. I also have some side news about that as well, as far as who else has made their return to TNA, and also the meat and potatoes. You know what I like to say about that. Also, the WWE releases. We're going to get into that. So make sure you guys are strapped in. You got your beverages and your snacks, and you guys know what I like to say. If you got it, spark it. And we're going to get right in. I want to start off here, guys. With Leo on X of Leo Rush. I got to say, guys, it is absolutely incredible. This zombie like Black Heart, Leo Rush, is going to catch eyes with a lot of people. It really reminds me of Finn Balor when he was the demon, with a little bit of touch of shades of the Undertaker, a little bit of Papa Shango in there. If you know your '90s wrestling, do you know exactly what I'm talking about? If you go check out Leo Rush, he is doing absolutely wonders on the indie scene. After what we all thought that he was going to retire from professional wrestling, I'm curious to see where this goes. Uh, we all sit here and say when it comes to professional wrestling, everybody has a certain ceiling that they reach before they can do no more. I think Leo Rush has broken through that ceiling and has created another ceiling for himself with this new gimmick. What does this technically mean? It looks great. I have not seen the entrance or anything like that, but from what I've seen in the ring, it looks good. It looks great. It's almost like when he drinks this magical elixir, he gains some type of superpower to where he's numb to pain. He'll no sell and he'll just just go on to whoop your ass. plain and simple. Um, would it work in somewhere like AEW? Probably. Would it work in somewhere like WWE, NXT main roster? Maybe. But right now, it's definitely working on the indies. And until Tony Khan or Triple H calls Leo Rush, I think he needs to keep it on the indies. It's good. From what I've seen on X, it's damn good. And I look forward to seeing more out of Leo Rush with this new Blackheart gimmick. And if you guys haven't checked it out, just go check it out. I would advise, I would recommend you guys to go check it out. Absolutely. You guys definitely got to go see what Blackheart Leo Rush is all about. And that was a little bit of news that I wanted to add in the last episode, but we kind of ran out of time. We kind of ran out of time. You guys know I gotta go to work and stuff like that. So, that's neither here or there now. It's in today's news, all right? It's in today's news. All right. So it's all good. It's all good. Tessa Blanchard, is she possibly on her way back to wrestling? Perhaps, maybe in TNA. Okay, so we all have our personal feelings about a one Miss Tessa Blanchard. I believe everybody deserves a second chance. I mean, look at the people that has gotten these second chances. Let's look at people like Hogan, who's gotten a second chance, you know. But I just want to just say this, just they say, time wounds heals wounds, and I think it's been long enough. I'm pretty sure she sorry, maybe she comes out with a statement or something explaining how bad she feels about what she did or something. Maybe they'll kind of soften the blow a little bit for when she does eventually make her return back to TNA. But I got a better question as far as Tessa Blanchard. If she returns, then who leaves? Who leaves if she returns? Now you could sit there and say, you could sit there and say,
Well, Big O, she can sit there and work with the other competitors and make the company better, you know.
and to that, I say you could be correct, but there's still roster members who don't appreciate what she did, and it's probably going to create some type of backlash or something. Speaking of backlash, I'm doing a watch along May 4th. Make sure you guys are here on my channel. Hit that button for subscribe and hit that like so you don't miss it because it's going to be a blast. Anyways, I think it'll be okay. I think it'll do good. I can see some matches between Tessa Blanchard and Jordan Grace. And I've always said that since the Rumble and how WWE and TNA were just praising Jordan Grace on how well she did at the Rumble and how comfortable she felt being in the Rumble and how perfect it looked that she was in WWE. It would not surprise me if Jordan Grace held that knockout women's champion all the way until Tessa Blanchard comes back, defeats her for it, and Jordan Grace leaves and goes to WWE. Do not put that out of the ballpark yet, people. Do not, because it could happen. It definitely could happen. And that's something that I definitely want to see, especially after seeing what she could do in the Royal Rumble. But I think it'll be okay. I think it definitely would be all right if she did if Tessa Blanchard did come back to TNA. I think she would be welcome back with somewhat open arms, but she's going to have to earn the rest of that love back from not only the fans but as well as the people who probably helped pave the way and people who looked up to her as far as being an inspiration to the company and stuff. So we're just gonna have to wait and see what happens with Miss Tessa Blanchard. Also, at TNA, there was also some returns at TNA. You had Mike Santana, one half of LAX. He made his return to TNA. Looked absolutely phenomenal out there. I was able to watch the show and see some clips back and stuff like that. Mike Santana had an absolutely wonderful debut. He felt rejuvenated. There's that word again, and he felt just like he was just ready to take on the world. However, I do feel like this might be just a nice little quick short stop before he does eventually go to NXT. And I'm telling you, he's going to blow up under Shawn Michaels and Triple H in NXT. Somebody else that returned to TNA, Sammy Callahan. A lot of people saying that this is probably just a one-off. Other people are saying that he actually signed. I do believe that he's still up under contract with MLW, and I do believe that this is probably just a per appearance type thing for Sammy Callahan. But it was good to see Sammy Callahan back on TNA. Um, I know they had him slotted in to go to AEW as well. We don't know what's going to go on with that. Hopefully, we'll see later on down the line how does that work out with Sammy Callahan and his schedule with MLW and possibly now TNA. And the broken one, Matt Hardy made his return to TNA, but he is still a free agent. What does all of this mean? We've seen things like Matt Hardy on X was tweeting things about WWE as well as TNA. Is it possible that Matt Hardy could be the bridge that aligns TNA and WWE for partnerships in the near future? We all know that Matt Hardy is winding down his career. I believe that he's personally going to wait for his brother, which will be rather sooner than later, from what I've been hearing on reports that Jeff will be leaving AEW really soon to join his brother. Could they be showing back up in WWE for one last run before they will eventually go to the Hall of Fame? Could they do one last run in TNA? Will we see them make another one last run in New Japan? I don't know. I don't know, but I'm very interested to seeing what the Hardy Boys have planned once Jeff gets released from AEW. Right now, Matt Hardy is on the broken gimmick and he is on TNA as he is going after Moose and the world title. Nick Nemeth was unsuccessfully able to capture that title at the show this past weekend, and Matt Hardy showed up, took out Moose, and held up the world title. What does this mean? Will he win the world title at the next pay per view for TNA? That is up for debate, and we're definitely going to talk about it on a later day as the pay per view approaches. Let's talk some WWE, guys. We're going to talk some WWE. And I definitely have a lot to say about what they're doing right now, and I have no idea what the plan is, but hopefully it's going to lead to something bigger and better for uh, for these people. So we're going to talk about that here in just a few moments, guys. But first, I have an announcement that I want to make. Guys, starting Tuesday, next week on Tuesday, the Big O wrap up is coming to your subscription boxes. I am moving the show from Thursday to Tuesday, basically to help benefit, my time situation. So the Big O wrap up. This will be the last Thursday episode that you guys will see. Starting next week, it will be on Tuesdays. Okay, and I will be joined by my bros Hologram and the Mid Most Market. From this point on, it will be a three-man booth. From this point on, The Big O wrap up will remain a 3-man booth. Special guest appearances and stuff. If you want to be on the show, make sure you request early. I need a 24-hour notice that you're going to be on the show, so I may try to squeeze you in with the fellas. I gotta clear it with them too, because they're a big part of my show as well. By the way, shout out to Hologram. But I'm gonna clear with those guys. If either one, if neither of those guys are able to make the show, I will be gladly. Whoever comes first, I will let you know in your DMs on Twitter that you will be on the show. But it's going to remain a 3-man booth. Also, I want to explain something real quick. And this is not a shot. This is not a diss. This is nothing like that. I will limit it myself from doing live watch alongs. Um, with my boys. And it's no shot or anything. It's just I hate being spoiled when I'm invested into something. Okay. I'll give you an example. If I'm looking forward to a match, if I sit there and I call a match that I want to see and I'm invested into what could be the story for per said match, and if it gets ruined before I get to the ending, then it's over. It, to where I was watching the Swerve and Joe match, and the match was over before the finish even happened for me. Let me explain something. I don't care what part of the country, city, or region that you're in. Everybody's speed, as far as whether you're watching on cable or whether you purchase it or you're streaming it, everybody's time is different, especially when you are online. Because when you're online, you tend to have about a 5 to even a sometimes 10-second lag. And that's why when we do all of these watch alongs and stuff, and everybody be talking at once, they're not taking the effect that there's a lag in between everybody's stream because everybody's internet speed is not the same. And I had to do some research to find that out myself. But I'm going to refrain from that. And if I do end up joining, I'm going to mute everything and everybody because I don't want it to be spoiled. Now, when we do, let's say on Sunday, WrestleMania 13, the DNR episode, the Dinner and Wrestling episode, then that's fine because we can all sync up because we all have a subscription to the same thing that we can watch it on. And that's cool. That's fine. That's okay. But when we're watching a live PLE or a live pay-per-view and we're invested in something, it's almost as if, and I don't mind the reaction, but don't just plainly give it away. And that's not a shot to none of my bros that does it or that does the play-by-play. I feel like me personally, I can do it because I'm dead last when it comes to trying to. I'm dead last. I'm behind everybody that's on the stream. I am behind everybody that's on the stream. I don't mind the moves. Oh, headlock takedown or something. At least I know, I know what's coming up, but it's not the ending. But I just wanted to make sure I say that I love all my bros, Rob, Hologram, Jeremy, Montana, Kratos, but it's just I'm just if I decide to get on doing a PLE or a pay-per-view, I'm gonna get in my tidbits and stuff like that, and I'm gonna do my little talking and stuff, my little ranting and stuff. But other than that, I'm gonna mute myself and I'm going to turn my volume down when I'm starting to zoom into a match, when I started getting invested and started focusing on the match, that's what I'm gonna start doing. But I love you guys from the bottom of my heart. I really do. It's just that's what I decided that I'm going to do. And that's pretty much all I wanted to get out. But the Big O wrap up is going to be moved to Tuesdays. It definitely is. So, but I do appreciate you guys and stuff for just kicking it and stuff like that. But make sure you hit that subscribe and a like as we move on to our next. WWE is making some changes with the tag teams. And we're going to start off right here. Imperium. It seems that Ludwig Kaiser and Giovanni Vinci are no longer a team. But what does this technically mean? I personally think you cut the dead weight and you add on to what you got. With Ilya Dragunov losing the NXT championship to Trick Williams, whoop that trick, whoop that trick. With Ilya losing to Trick, losing the NXT championship, I think Ilya Dragunov is going to get called up. I believe that Ilya Dragunov is going to be added to Imperium, and we're going to get a tag team of Kaiser and Dragunov that is probably going to end up winning the world tag team titles. It could be a flirt game when it comes to that, and this is what I mean by that. You can have Gunther entice Dragunov, saying things saying things like, "You have been a formidable opponent. You've been a thorn in my side for years. Every major championship I've come and taken, you have come and ripped from my hands." That is something Gunther could actually say to Ilya, because it's true. Ilya has had Gunther's number, and he could form an alliance to where Gunther and Ilya form a truce, a bond, and he joins Imperium, and they will take out the tag team division and the rest of the Monday Night Raw and or SmackDown roster. This is interesting to me because I'm also curious on where Giovanni Vinci is going to go. Could they just basically call him back down to NXT? He can go down there and possibly feud with Trick Williams to try to prove himself to Imperium that he belongs. That wait a minute, look, I did something that Ilya couldn't do. I defeated Trick Williams and became the NXT champion. So what do you guys have to say about that? Could it be possibly of him proving himself to maybe instead of it becoming a trios team, it can be more of a faction, a legitimate faction, a four-man group, Imperium, with the addition of Ilya Dragunov. Who knows? Who knows? You got all these multi-million groups in the WWE now, the LWO and Legado del Fantasma and stuff, so and then of course you got Judgment Day. So it can go either way. But I'm a little curious to see how they were going to run with this and how they're going to handle this storyline with Giovanni Vinci and Imperium. Another team that we got to sit here and question about, and that is DIY. Now, I've heard people like JD and other people was talking about how they could do this if it is to be that DIY is going to break up. Do you basically just rehash the NXT storyline and have Ciampa turn on Johnny? I think we've seen that already. You have to really twist it up a little bit to make it seem fresh. Maybe Tommaso and Johnny go heel and they feud with Awesome Truth for those tag team titles. Maybe that's how you could twist that up and freshen up that rivalry. Make it good. DIY versus Awesome Truth, a heel DIY. Maybe Tommaso Ciampa shows Johnny the way on how to become a perfect heel and to get what you want. I think that's a good settlement right there. You know, Johnny Gargano is the true quintessential baby face here in the WWE. But sometimes you're going to have to twist it up a little bit. Sometimes you're going to have a little heel turn. I think a heel DIY is fantastic. An aggressive, vicious heel DIY. We have never had that. We have never had a heel DIY. I am for it. Please let me see that. I want to see a heel DIY versus a face Awesome Truth. It could possibly turn Miz and R Truth bigger than what they are right now against a full heel, dastardly, devilish DIY. But I hope they're not splitting those guys up. If they do, we both know that both of those guys can be great single competitors. Tommaso Ciampa, Johnny Gargano, both of them former NXT champions. Johnny Gargano, former two-time North American champion. DIY NXT, multiple time tag team champions. Do I need to go on? Triple H sees promises in them. Triple H and Shawn Michaels sees promise in them. Tommaso and Johnny are Triple H and Shawn Michaels. A heel DIY would be suitable for the main roster. And plus, they need tag teams up there in the main rosters. You do not want to split these guys up. Although they could tell a great story separately, they could tell a great story together, but you don't want to lose another tag team in an area where you desperately need tag teams for either Raw or SmackDown's division. WWE has finally decided to resign one of their top talent. What? Yeah, I said it. They finally decided to sign one of their top talent. Yes, absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. We are all happy for that situation right there because WWE has decided to re-sign Finn Balor. After making a post, he said, and I quote, I want to thank WWE for their time. And after long discussion, I've decided I'm not going anywhere. Finn Balor has signed a multi year deal to stay with the WWE. I don't know how much or how long, but it's a good thing. He would have been great in AEW too. I'm not sure if Tony Khan even threw his number out there at Finn Fergal, but but I'm sure he's gonna. I think he's pretty much set. Uh, and with Vince being gone and Paul Levesque taking over, I think more of the talent is inclined to stay with the company. Speaking of contracts, we all still know about Drew McIntyre. He had about 5 or 6 weeks left on his contract, and he's supposed to be at Clash of the Castle. I think he will win the world title from Damian Priest there, and it will be Drew McIntyre and CM Punk. I believe that does need the world title now. I think it does need the world title now, but we'll wait and see. You still got Seth Rollins, you got Randy Orton, you got people that's coming up this summer. So uh, I'm a little curious. This is going to be a crazy summer, guys. We still talk on Monday, so there's no doubt that Becky Lynch, since she won the world title on Monday, there's no doubt that Becky Lynch, if not already, is probably going to resign with WWE. But hey, congratulations to Finn Balor, man. Congratulations, man. And I know in the last little segment I talked about tag teams breaking up. We already talked about Judgment Day. Everybody going their separate ways. I think Dominic is going to get drafted to SmackDown. Is going to join the LWO Legado. No. I'm sorry, not LWO. Legado del Fantasma. And if you want to get Dominic and Ray back together, that's the easiest way you can do it. Do it through the feud of LWO and Legado del Fantasma. That's how you get Dominic back. And I'm assuming Dominic's going to have himself a new mommy in Electra Lopez, which is that an upgrade? Is that an upgrade? Electra Lopez for Rhea Ripley? Is that an upgrade? Hey, y'all comment at the bottom on that one. Y'all comment at the bottom. Is Electra Lopez an upgrade from Rhea Ripley? Comment at the bottom. If you're Dominic Mysterio, would you be happy going to Legado? Comment at the bottom. I need your answer on this one. I need everybody's answer. Yes or no. Is Electra Lopez an upgrade from Maria Ripley? And we're going to move on here, guys, to our last segment of the show. The WWE has made some changes, and those changes have come in form of releases. Von Wagner, VWO. Y'all remember we started that movement. OTS, we remember the VWO. We started that movement, the Von World Order, and we still don't know what the fuck a Von Wagner is. Von Wagner, Zia Lee, Indus Sher, Jinder Mahal, Zion Quinn, and Cameron Grimes to the moon. You never want to see superstars lose their job. You want to see them get better. But it is not the end for either of these guys. I'm telling you right now. I definitely see Zia Lee and Zion Quinn in AEW. I could see Indus Sher in AEW. Tony Khan have use for these guys. These are ex WWE superstars. For Pete's sakes. Jinder Mahal. Don't do not come at me when I say this, but I could see Jinder Mahal in AEW as well. Because who was it that they was talking about Jinder Mahal in AEW too? Was that I can't remember who it was, but he was somewhat referenced by AEW. I think Tony Khan mentioned him somewhat in a little slight. So I could definitely see Jinder Mahal sneaking over there to AEW, maybe having a feud there and stuff like that. Hey, we seen Tony Khan be a part of a story on Dynamite last night, didn't we? He got Meltzer driver to World's End. Maybe Tony Khan is really doing drastic things to try to get those ratings up, try to get ass in the seats. Perhaps bringing in Jinder Mahal would help. I'm not saying that it will. Please don't hurt me. I'm not saying that it's going to. We all know that Jinder is not a draw, but maybe a story about Jinder being upset that Tony Khan brought his name up while he was over at the other company. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? And again, like I said, I'm not saying that Jinder is a draw. I'm not saying that at all. I'm not saying that at all. But I mean, listen. Do you guys really want to see Jinder Mahal in AEW? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. All right. I'm sorry. That would be absolutely hilarious. Ooh, ooh. Maybe he'll bring the great Khali with him. Oh man, Von Wagner. I think you know what Von Wagner needs about a good couple 2-3 years on the Indies, maybe someone MLW or something like that, somewhere where he can actually go hone his craft and then come back, and I think he'll be a lot better for it when he comes back because it definitely looks like he has the look of a champion, but boy, he needs to get a little bit better in the ring. His mic skills are a little bit better than when he first started, so Big ups to VWO leader Von Wagner, man. Hopefully, you'll land on your feet and you'll strive for what you want when it comes to this wrestling business. In this share, I definitely can see them on AEW, and I can see Gender being there managing them. Yeah, yeah. I don't need Gender. Gender can be a great manager, but I do not need him in the ring. I mean, even though Gender probably could still go in the ring. I, all right, guys. All right, calm down, guys. All right. Even though I think Indus Share is a great, they're a great tag team, believe it or not. Indus Share is a fantastic tag team, believe it or not, and they can move. They just was not utilized properly the way that they were supposed to in WWE. I believe. I do not blame Hunter on that. Hunter took a shot on them maybe a couple of times, but it was all Vince. Vince fucked them up upon arrival. How long did we wait for Veer? I think my answer is already. I think my question has been answered with that statement right there. And Cameron Grimes, Trevor Lee, boy oh boy oh boy. I just wish instead of them releasing him, they'll just send him back to NXT. He was good. Cameron Grimes, Trevor Lee, whatever you want to call him, he was good. I guess I'm gonna call him Trevor Lee because I see him back in TNA real soon. Maybe he'll go to MLW. Maybe Triple H will save him. Maybe Shawn will save him. Maybe Shawn Michaels will pull him back down to NXT without being part of the draft. I don't know. This one is tricky. I definitely can see him going back to TNA because TNA is I guess you say they're they're like they're catching steam right now, okay? They're catching steam to where you even got my boy Rob watching the show now. Rob has even started watching freaking NXT. He has solely flipped the script. This man is finna be live every single day, every week. Shout out to my boy Rob, man. Shout out to my boy, my bro from Baltimore. But I'm curious to know, and I'm curious to see where Trevor Lee goes. He's going to make a splash. He goes to TNA. He's definitely going to go after the X Division Championship, and I think he deserves it. He needs a title. You know what he did in NXT was absolutely amazing. That rivalry he had with LA Knight in the $1 million championship, I loved it. I loved it. His time at NXT was fantastic. When he got to the main roster, what can I say? What can I say? We still don't know about where the Detroit City the Motor City Machine Guns are gonna go. We have no idea. I assumed that they was gonna show up at Dynasty. Maybe I assumed that they was gonna show up yesterday. Maybe they'll wait until Double or Nothing to show up and foil the tag team champions plans, as the Young Bucks are the new tag team champions. And Jungle Boy, Jack Perry, got a nice ovation last night. Hopefully, AEW put all the bullshit behind him. Now you got Jungle Boy back. You guys put Tony Khan in a Meltzer driver or the EVP driver, whatever you want to call it. Tony Khan is now part of the story. Does he call the Motor City Machine Guns to come and aid him and take those titles off the Young Bucks at Double or Nothing? Mercedes Monet is still not wrestled, but she has a match for the TBS Championship against my pillow Willow. Will Chris Statlander turn on Willow and help Mercedes? I don't know. Are they going to build up Willow to be the ultimate babyface for the women's division? Who truly attacked Mercedes Monet? I think it was DMD. Happy belated birthday, Britt. but I think you attacked Mercedes Monet. Prove me wrong. So it's going to be interesting when Double or Nothing comes. Perhaps when Mercedes Monet wins the TBS Championship, and she will, because I'm sorry, My Pillow Willow is just a transitional champion, and I hate it. I really do. I don't like it at all. I think she deserves a few months with the title, but she's going to get that title right to Mercedes. Is going to close up their New Japan feud and blah 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 this and blah 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 that. CEO, 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 CEO. You know how that goes. I can't stand it. It's absolutely cringe. JD said it best. You can keep all the CEO chants in the actual soundtrack on Spotify, but when it comes to TV, one or two of them, three of them, the most, and cut that shit off. Get to the damn song. You're forcing the chant on the crowd. I'm curious to know what Dynamite's ratings were last night. But anyway, guys, that is all I got. That is all I have for you guys today. I appreciate you guys for being here. This is a pre-recorded video. This is the last Thursday video you guys are going to get. I want to thank all my 1,100 subscribers. We are on our way. We are well on our way to that 1,500. We are 400 away from that 1,500. Let's get there. I appreciate you guys for all the watch time hours. I appreciate all my subscribers, all the likes. Make sure you hit that thumbs up, hit that bell for all notifications, and share to keep your people aware. Shout out to all my boys in the OTS family, the OTS bloodline. We are the ones and everybody else is the twos. Shout out to the TSP family, Dr. Evil and the crew. And shout out to you guys, the Bebe family. Appreciate you guys for being here. The next time you guys will see me will probably be Sunday for the DNR episode, WrestleMania 13, watch along with the boys, the Bebe family, right here on Big O Gaming. Until then, guys, it is your boy, Big O. See you guys later. Go Thunder.